Hello YouTube, and welcome to my brand new channel Yu-Gi-Oh, in which I will be discussing more original deck ideas and looking at how to make decks that perhaps you may not have heard of, but which can compete with the top tier decks. I'll be doing lots of deck profiles and looking at interesting cards, ones that we already have and those in the OCG, which will be coming to the TCG soon, and also Duel. I'll be filming duels with more interesting decks, usually against the more competitive decks, so you can see how to duel against top tier decks and still win with more unusual decks. Anyway, today I'll be demonstrating what this channel is all about by showing you my Vylon deck, which I took to the UK National Championships in Bolton, and I came 65th, winning this lovely mat. However, the map lies. It says I'm a qualifier, but I was not a qualifier because I was one place off the top 64, and top 64 all qualified for European Championships, which of course I didn't. But oh well, it was still quite an achievement. Anyway, I'll get started with some of the extra deck cards, because they're what the deck revolves around, and you probably won't. The main deck doesn't make much sense without them. So here we have 2 Vylons Sigma, which is these level 7 light fairy synchro with 1800 attack and 1000 defense, which obviously seems quite lackluster at first, but its effect, when it attacks, while it's the only monster you control, you can equip one equip card from your deck to it before damage calculation and everything. And the other Vylon synchro is Vylon Epsilon, who's a level 8 light fairy with 2800 attack and 1200 defense. Equip cards equipped to it can't be targeted by card effects, and you can send one equip card that's equipped to it to the graveyard to destroy one monster your opponent controls, which is really useful, Scrap Dragon-like effect, but in this deck it's a lot better than Scrap Dragon. You'll see why soon. Then the generic synchro is Magical Android, generic level 5, Brynette, generic level 6, 2 more interesting level 7s who are my alternatives to Sigma, Ancient Sacred Wyvern and Ancient Fairy Dragon, who's useful for Gravekeepers and Dark Worlds by destroying their field spell. Black Rose Dragon, Scrap Dragon, because Epsilon requires a light tuner, so if I reborn a non-light tuner, then it can be useful. And then the Ixies, Utopia and Utopia Ray, Maestroke, Leviathan from 17, and Chimeritic Fortress Dragon, because I main 3 Cyber Dragons. And then the main deck, I run 3 Vylon Cube. This is my only main deck Vylon monster, but he's a very powerful tuner. He's level 3 light machine with 800 attack and defense, and when he's sent to the graveyard as a synchro material for a light synchro monster, then I get to add an equip card from the deck to the hand, which is very useful because it makes Vylons Sigma a lot bigger and serves as an equip card for Epsilon to use. Next, the Stratos of the deck, Genix Neutron, light, level 4, 1800 attack and 1200 defense. It's a machine, and in the end phase of the turn he's normal summoned, he adds a machine tuner from the deck to the hand, Vylon Cube obviously. And he is great in this deck because you use him to search Vylon Cube. If he's still on the field next turn, synchro with Cube for Sigma and get the search. Free Photon Pressure, level 4 light warrior with 2100 attack. Can't be normal summoned or set, but it can be special summoned when you control no monsters. So he's really useful for as a beta on his own, or with Vylon Cube, synchro into Sigma really quickly. And then also free Cyber Dragons, a lot like Photon Pressure really. He's a good beater on his own, but with Vylon Cube he makes Epsilon. Two Thunder King Ryo. Slows down the opponent a lot by stopping them searching and getting special summons. He's level 4 light with 1900 attack, which means after he's done his job of say stopping a important search or just stalling the opponent for a bit, and synchro with Cube, Vylon Sigma. I have quite a lot of level 4 lights in the deck to make Sigma really easily. One honest because I run a lot of lights and it's level 4. In fact, all the monsters I'm in deck are light. So. One Freed the Brave Wanderer. He's level 4 light warrior, which means he can be searched by reinforcement of the army. 1700 attack, 1200 defense. His effect is you can remove and play 2 light monsters from your graveyard to destroy 1 monster on the field with an attack higher than himself. So he's useful for getting rid of big monsters, clearing the way for Sigma to make a direction attack. 2 effect veilers, pretty much staple. Being light's useful with Freed as well. And then the spells have equips. 1 Mage Power. This is probably the best way of boosting the monster's attack. It increases the attack and defense of the equipped monster by 500 for each spell and trap card you control. So maximum of 2500, which is a lot really, and usually equip quite a lot, so it's really useful. Then we have 2 Vylon Material. Increases, can be equipped to a Vylon monster and increases their attack by 600. Plus all the Vylon equips have an effect that lets you search another Vylon spell card from your deck to your hand when they're sent from the field to the graveyard. So, which is one of the best aspects of the Vylon equips, because with Epsilon, for example, you use his effect, send material to the graveyard, and it replaces itself, and you get to destroy a monster for free. And the equip you've probably searched with Vylon Cube by synchroing for Epsilon anyway. And then there's also Filament, which again has the effect of replacing itself, and it makes the Vylons sort of ancient gears, meaning your opponent can't activate spells and traps when they attack, which is great for getting past Mirror Force, Dimensional Prison, etc. And then the key Vylon spell, it's sort of a Pot of Avarice for equips. You target 3 equips in your graveyard, return them to the deck, and then either draw a card or destroy a card your opponent controls. You decide that upon resolution of so Stardust Dragon can't negate it, and your opponent can't chain if you choose to destroy a card. So it's a really good card. 1 reinforcement of the army for searching Photon Thresher or Freed the Brave Wanderer. 3 Pots of Duality to increase consistency. Help me get the first turn Genix Neutron play. 1 Monster Reborn. 1 Heavy Storm. 2 MSTs. 1 Dark Hole. 1 Book of Moon. And then the traps, Solemn Judgment and 2 Solemn Warnings. I like to be able to keep monsters off my opponent's side of the field. To make it easier, for example, to synchro summon Sigma with Genix Neutron, keeping Neutron on the field so I can summon the cube next turn. 1 Torrential, 2 Compulsory, to keep monsters off my opponent's field again, but also protecting my own monsters, since I can easily summon them to the field again, Photon Thresher and Cyber Dragon, for example. And then 1 Mirror Force. Yeah, that's about it. Vylons are going to change a lot now since Hidden Arsenal 6 has just come out. They've got Vylon Element, which is a continuous spell card which lets them spam a lot of tuners to make really big synchros. So yeah, the deck's a bit outdated, but I'll be updating it soon, hopefully. I'm getting a box of Hidden Arsenal 6, sharing it with a friend. I'll probably be filming us opening that, and we're going to be building decks using only the cards we pull and dueling, so that should be quite fun. Yeah.